Peugeot was once known for its sporty models, especially the GTI hot hatches of the 80s and 90s. But in recent years, the French brand has been too busy sending its cars upmarket to focus on hot hatchbacks. Okay, so the 208 and 308 GTI were great cars, but they went off sale a few years ago and neither was available with a plug. And that's where this comes in. Let me see if I can say its name in one whole breath. So it's a Peugeot 508 Peugeot Sport Engineered SW Hybrid 4 360 E88 four-wheel drive. It's a plug-in hybrid, but it also happens to be the most powerful Peugeot ever, with 355 horsepower. So it's a rival for the Volvo S60 and V60, as well as the BMW 330e. So, should we find out what it's like? But before we do, don't forget to subscribe to the Driving Electric YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos go live. This is the SW or estate version of the 508, but there's a 5-door hatchback model available as well. It stands out from the crowd with its high-vis green trim and brake calipers, 20-inch alloy wheels and a body kit with a deeper front bumper and a big diffuser at the back. It uses a 1.6 litre petrol engine with a punchy electric motor to make that impressive power figure. Plus, it has 520 Newton meters of torque, which means it's really quick. 0 to 62 miles per hour takes 5.2 seconds, though we'll talk more about how it drives later on. I mean, you've got to hand it to Peugeot. The 508 is a great looking car, isn't it? I love the LED lights, and the sport engineered body kit makes it look really mean and sporty. For me, the estate version is a no-brainer because it looks better and it's more practical. I'm not so sure about the green bits though, but hey, that's not for me to decide. Let us know in the comments what you think. As this is the plug-in hybrid, the best way to get the most out of the powertrain is to charge up every night at home. This is true for both performance and economy, as you're going to want to use electric mode for short trips to keep costs down, as well as set aside some juice in the tank for full power on a twisty road. The relatively small 11.5 kilowatt-hour battery takes about an hour and 45 minutes to charge up at a home wall box, or 7 hours if you use a 3-pin household plug. It's doable overnight, even if you're stuck somewhere without a wall charger. Peugeot's official figures show that the car gets 138.9 miles per gallon, but that's typical of a plug-in hybrid because these cars ace the official tests. In real-world driving, we managed around the mid-30 mark for miles per gallon, which is about the best you can expect if you run the battery down and you're only using the petrol engine. There's about 26 miles of electric range, which is below average in the plug-in hybrid world, but it might be enough to get to work and back for some people. It also means company car tax on the 508 is cheap, even if the car itself definitely isn't. So, the most powerful Peugeot road car ever then. What's it like to drive? Well, it's fast. You probably guessed that, but what's not obvious from the 0 to 62 time is that it doesn't feel like the lively hot hatches Peugeot was once known for. The petrol engine sounds a bit strained, and since most of the punch is coming from a near silent electric motor, it doesn't have that joie de vivre of a French hot hatch. It feels a lot more grown up in a lot of ways though. There's adjustable suspension as standard, and because the suspension is stiffer than in a normal 508 and you get sticky Michelin tyres, there's loads of grip. Plus, the brakes have been beefed up, so the 508 is a pretty serious performance machine. In comfort mode, the ride is firm, but there's not much body roll. Even though the steering is quick, partly because of the small steering wheel, it's well weighted, so it's really good on twisty roads. It's just a shame that the driving position is nowhere near as good as that in a BMW 330e. But if you want to settle down and commute to work, the 508 does that too. In electric mode, it glides along nicely, and even when the engine's on, motorway cruising is quiet too. A small criticism about the engine not sounding that sporty could be a plus point if you're just trying to get from A to B as serenely as possible. This estate version of the 508 PSE has 530 litres of boot space, which is quite a bit more than the 410 litres you get in a BMW 330e Touring. Fold the seats down and there's a healthy 1,780 litres, which is excellent for a performance car and really adds to the model's appeal. In the back, it's definitely not the roomiest family estate car around, but there's still plenty of space for adults. A VW Passat GTE has way more legroom. The seats are a little on the firm side, but they should soften up with time if you get some use out of them, and they look really smart, don't they? Speaking of which, here in the front you can enjoy the nice leather and Alcantara seats and the soft touch materials dotted around the cabin. Unfortunately, the 508 doesn't feel as upmarket as some of its German rivals, as it's got some cheap feeling plastics and the infotainment isn't quite up to scratch. The screen itself is fine, it measures 10 inches and it's got some useful features like this section that's unique to the plug-in model. Plus these handy buttons along here that take you to all the necessary features. It's just a shame that the interface is a bit laggy and the screen isn't as pin sharp as you'd expect from modern tech these days. The 12.3-inch screen behind the steering wheel is nice though. It takes a bit of getting used to with the steering wheel controls, so it's a bit fiddly. So overall, the cabin is a bit lacking considering its high price tag, over £50,000 price tag. But we do still like the design of the dash and is unlike anything else in this kind of car. The 508 Peugeot Sport Engineered is really well equipped as standard though. Along with the two screens which have sat-nav, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you get a 360-degree camera and heated massage seats, plus a premium focal stereo and 20-inch alloy wheels. The list of safety kit is also lengthy. Peugeot has proven once again that they know what they're doing when it comes to performance cars. The 508 Peugeot Sport Engineered is fast, quiet, great to drive, relatively efficient, and it looks good. It makes for a great everyday car whilst also delivering loads of performance. It's a shame it doesn't sound like a sports car and the interior feels a bit cheap considering the hefty price tag, but otherwise it makes a great alternative to a sporty BMW, Volkswagen or Volvo plug-in hybrid, particularly for company car users who are lucky enough to pick one. Head to DrivingElectric.com for all the latest electric car advice, news and reviews. We're also on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. If you've not done it already, please subscribe to the Driving Electric YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified when a new video goes live.